Okay. I mean, I guess. What do I do?
Are you sure you are prepared?
It's prepared to deliver me.
Very well. She nods her head and clears her throat. I, Elysiana, Hope's End, will grant you my titanic blessing. Put an end to anything you see fit with your power. And then she takes her hand. She digs her fingers into her socket and plucks out her right eye.
That's nice.
As is the Titan way. To gain power, you must feast on the body. However, it does come at a terrible price. And she puts the eyeball in your hand.
Are you sure it has to be your eye? It can't be like your finger or something?
Yes, I am sure.
Okay. Sophie's just gonna pop the eyeball out.
Yummy.
Yummy. Oh, it's not me.
Kind of like makes a face as if she's like thinking about it.
Yeah. When you pop the eyeball into your mouth, you are immediately disgusted by the taste, like rotting flesh. It almost melts like a thick putty or sludge. And you struggle to get it down as you can feel the squirming of maggots crawling as everything now travels down your throat. You can feel it slog its way down your body, and you struggle to keep from throwing up your gift. You close your eyes for a moment of concentration, and when you open them, you're not in the same forest. You look around and there's snow everywhere. You've been to this forest before. It's familiar. The cold strikes you. Look up from where you were kneeling down. You can see a younger Elysiana screaming into the black, cold air as this monstrous skeletal hand floating above her slowly turns into snow and drops a corpse onto the ground, painting beautiful snow a dark crimson as Elysiana calls out, "Mother, please, I need you! Don't leave me alone!" She quietly sobs over her mother before quickly picking up her head. I know. I will get Father. Father will help. He can get you the help you need. Stay here, Mother. I will be back. And you watch as she struggles to stand in the cutting cold as the sudden snowstorm picks up. She keeps quietly muttering to herself, "Thaskia, Thaskia, get to Thaskia," over and over again, as she's trying to remember the way, but everything looks the same. And she's only wearing a light summer robe. Her legs and arms are freezing. It is in this moment that you realize it was the white robe that you had initially met her in, and as she's wandering the now frozen forest, she now has to come face to face with the massacre that she has committed. All of the twisted and mangled bodies she has created. And as she is trying to avert her eyes from the horror, she accidentally steps on a body and trips backwards. In shock, she accidentally makes eye contact with one of the corpses. The barbarian's green eyes glossed over by ice and twisted in horror, frozen there. The violence, the gore is too much for her, and she can't help but throw up. She tries to cover her mouth, and she does so. And it almost immediately just flash freezes onto her skin. She's just so frustrated, she screams out in anger. That is when you notice that it looks like the white wolf of the Titan has been watching her. And Elysiana turns and looks, "Go away."
He is not going to save you.
And she screams, "Father," into the harsh, cold wind that shows a cold indifference to her pain.
Continue.
She screams again, this time with tears in her eyes.
That he will never see you again.
Much more weakly, she just cries out, "Father, Please help me. She drops to her knees, her limbs now frostbitten. The wolf walks over to her and gently nuzzles her face as she cries. As she sits there, she lays down onto the ground and curls up in the fetal position and shivers. The Titan lays down next to her and rests his head on her shoulder. Then his eye moves towards you, the one watching, still shivering and chattering her teeth. Who are you looking at? And it turns away. She keeps shivering, trying to fight off the sheer cold until you watch as inevitably her limbs go limp. Her eyes gloss over. Her body stops shivering. The cold wind howls in pain. The wolf nuzzles into her once again, then turns into a soft blue mist and surrounds the corpse. And once more, Luciana opens her left eye. Then you are suddenly blinded by a flurry of snow, and you open your eye. You're back, surrounded by your friends, and the current Elysiana you know. How's Sophie take all that?
I imagine she'd come out of that with her face doesn't look like she's crying, but there are tears going down her cheeks, and she'll just kind of, like hastily wipe them away like a few times. That was I'm sorry.
Are you alright?
Yes. Well, figuratively speaking. Does she just not have an eye now, Luciana?
Yeah, well now she has 0 eyes.
Oh, that's right.
She is at
She
no
didn't-
eyes.
Ooh. Are you gonna be alright without the other eye?
Yes, I will be fine.
Can you still see?
Yes, I mean, she's still... So, she doesn't have an eyeball. However, her fucking other side, which, by the way, her hair is not covering the left side of her face, so now you can see, like, that around her eye, there's just kind of rotted skin, and you can see, like, the gray bone beneath.
Yeah.
And just...
So it's like hell.
Her empty
Got it.
socket is, you see just a faint blue light underneath,
Okay.
like, just inside.
When I don't need this blessing anymore, will you get your eye back, or are you just without an eye now?
I'm just without an eye.
I really appreciate that. I won't let it go to waste.
I know you won't.
I will save this universe.
I know you will.
I'm sure you don't know the answer to this, but what's with, like, the other gods just don't know what Bigglenolis is doing, but, like, shouldn't they be concerned if he wants to reset everything? Because doesn't he resets everything, like, everything. That means them, right?
If they're not acting, then they believe he is going to be stopped already.
Why's this shit all gonna be left up to us? Why do we gotta do it? Why's nobody else all that concerned? It's a thankless job.
Surely.
Alright, Zelda, do you want to teleport us over to Vol?
Before you go,
Yes.
do you mind if I have a moment alone with Sophie?
Go ahead.
No.
I'm gonna do that thing where you walk out of the room, you shut the door, and then you slip your iPhone up from under the door.
Elysiana and Sophie will walk away from everyone else. As you guys are walking, she goes, well, you certainly have grown as an individual, haven't you?
I like to think so. I feel like I've really changed as a person as time has gone on.
I am very proud of how you have grown, Sophie. And then she embraces you for a hug.
Sophie goes limp.
And it's a warm feeling you haven't really felt before, despite being surrounded by freezing winds and the cold earth. But it just feels warm.
I'm gonna cry.
Like you or Sophie?
Both. Sophie tears up a little bit, like I tear up right now. Wow, that's
Are you tearing up? You pussy. I bet you play baby games. I
I
bet you put creamer in your coffee.
He strikes again.
She will hug her back. Thank you. I don't really think I've ever had anyone tell me that before.
Well, you have now.
You were the only actual parental figure I've had in my life. For that, I thank you.
I know. I've been watching for a very long time.
What do you mean you've been watching for a very long time?
And Sophie, as you kind of ask that question to yourself, you're almost whisked away by the snow once again. And you realize, like, in that moment, this isn't the first time you felt this, like, kind of warmth around you. And you look around for a moment as the snow takes you. you see yourself as a small girl, trapped in an attic. It's cold, and you're hungry. You can't remember the last time you've seen either of your parents' face. You thought you had forgotten these memories, these awful, horrible times of loneliness and neglect. You go to turn away from these vicious memories, but you catch something out of the corner of your eye. Something you don't remember. You feel the pulsating of magic in your left eye, the power. And as it does, you can see the all too familiar blue mist swirling around a young Sophie. She herself doesn't notice anything, but you can see it. You think to yourself, she has always been there, but just in her own way. And you can see that blue mist swirling. It shifts into that same white wolf, and it gently and very carefully nuzzles into the young Sophie's cheek, just curls up around her. And as you are kind of lost in your own thoughts, snow whisks you away back to reality.
She's kind of thoughtfully looking at the ground. I didn't realize that you had always been there.
Of course. I've always been there for everyone's sad and their lonely times. We have all always been watching. And it was a wonderfully lucky thing that you happened to run into me and become my child. I am truly happy that we met in this lifetime.
As am I. I'm really glad you all abducted me in the middle of the night.
Wasn't really my plan, but it worked out all the same, didn't it?
I assumed it wasn't, but it did work out in the end. Thank you.
Of course, my child. I will, be going to sleep for a while, but I will always be there for you.
Okay.
And you know how to get a hold of me if you ever need anything.
Oh, alright. I can still talk to you.
Yes.
Alright.
After you deal with that, obnoxious dragon, go enjoy the rest of your life while you can. Nothing is eternal, not even us.
Alright. I will. I'll try to. I guess I should probably get going.
Yes, it's time now.
Thank you for what you said.
Of course.
If there's anything you need, just let me know.
She'll give you a head pat and a little kiss on the forehead.
I'm gonna start crying again. Sophie tears up a little. Thanks.
Do be safe out there.
I'll try.
Chupapi muñeño.